Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here early on this Friday morning. We actually want to speed that up to 7 o'clock here. We actually do have a very weak disturbance this morning that's brought some light rain to central Nebraska. It's now basically sitting, as of the time of this recording, from around Blue Hill to Seward. We've got some very light rain that's pushing southeast where it's enough to give you a trace to maybe a couple of hundreds at most here. That's about all we're seeing right now here. So I'm just checking something real quick here. But anyway, that's clearing on out quickly. Lots of sun today. Breezy northwest winds. A backdoor cool front comes in from the northeast. That's going to mean slightly cooler air for northeast Nebraska today. Increasing clouds out west later in the day. As our next disturbance approaches, it'll be up around the Black Hills of South Dakota by the end of this afternoon. So as it moves through, and we'll take you to, I'm going to go to midnight very slowly here. Notice all the rain and the snow is in northwest Nebraska in the evening hours. Maybe a little rain in the north central Nebraska. So most of us are quiet. We see that increase in cloud cover. Rain tries to mix with snow in northwest Nebraska. But as we get into the late night hours after midnight, everything in the northwest kind of falls apart, and the focus will then shift to northeast Nebraska early tomorrow morning. So I have not included any moisture for folks watching in North Platte. In fact, you're going to clear out by tomorrow morning. Most of that rain and snow, we'll back it up just a few hours here, is going to be in north central to northeast Nebraska. I have included a very small chance of sprinkles or light rain for the Tri-Cities tomorrow morning, mainly before sunrise. Let's take you to sunrise right there. Little snow tries to mix in here, but if we see any accumulation, it's probably going to be northeast of the Missouri River, parts of South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota. Maybe some trace amounts of snow in northeast Nebraska, but I think it's just going to be too warm for it to really stick. So we're mostly looking at rain, and then maybe some flakes flying, but not sticking. So behind this system, we have kind of two disturbances. This one here, and then a second one that's underneath my banner here. Between it, we actually will sneak in some sunshine tomorrow for a time. Play this out a little bit. Eastern Nebraska continues to see some rain and a little snow trying to mix in northeast Nebraska. Meanwhile, and then here's noon, look at the winds cranking up. Strong winds out of the northwest behind that cold front here. So we're going to see some strong winds as we head into the day tomorrow. Stronger the farther west and southwest that you go. I think western Nebraska could see gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Eastern Nebraska gusts 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. We get a second area of some very light rain tomorrow afternoon, mainly again focused in the north and the east, and then a little snow tries to mix in late day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. But it will eventually kind of fall apart tomorrow evening, and then we're just kind of settling into cold air as we get into Sunday morning and throughout the day on Sunday. The winds will be lighter by Sunday morning, but still breezy enough to make it feel colder out there as we head into your Sunday. Highs today, 60s. Should be a really nice day ahead of us. Maybe some upper 50s in northeast portions of Nebraska. Tonight, we're going to dip down into the 30s and 40s for lows. Not bad. And then as we look ahead to tomorrow, cooler 40s and 50s, but a lot of wind to make it feel colder. Before the temperatures really plunge tomorrow night, though, yeah, we're going to get cold here. Look at the beautiful weather out in Pasadena, California. The Huskers traveling west to take on the UCLA Bruins. That's an 8 p.m. Central Time kickoff, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. So it'll be nighttime there for the Rose Bowl as well. But look at that beautiful weather, 70s with light winds and clear skies. No weather problems whatsoever in Pasadena, California. But back to reality for us, not so nice. Sunday morning, we're down in the mid to upper teens, low to mid 20s. Wind chills will be colder than that because the wind will still be breezy out there, and highs only in the 30s and 40s on Sunday. It's going to be a very chilly, brisk day. Those winds will be breezy, so it's going to make it feel colder. Better weather to the west in the Panhandle, coldest weather in the northeast where it'll be barely above freezing on Sunday. And then look at this, the coldest night ahead is Sunday night and a Monday morning. Lows into the teens, some 20s out west, but most of us will fall back into the teens early on Monday morning. Monday gets better. 40s in the eastern half of Nebraska, 50s and 60s out west, and in fact 70 in Kimball. And that warmer air will spread eastward next week. Let's take a look at things here in the long-range forecast here. Again, nice today, a little breezy. Wind tomorrow. I'm not terribly concerned about the moisture for the Tri-Cities area. Some very light rain early tomorrow morning, mainly before sunrise, and then small chance of light rain and maybe a couple of snowflakes tomorrow evening. Between the two, Mix of clouds and sun. We'll get some sunny times. We'll have some clouds here and there. But wind is the big story of Friday more than the moisture for the Tri-Cities area. Northeast of us is where we would see more of the moisture. And even the Tri-Cities, Grand Island has the main chance of moisture. Hastings and Kearney don't have as good of a chance. Then we're just settling into cold weather Saturday night to Sunday morning. It's going to be a chilly Sunday, a very cold Sunday night and a Monday morning. If you haven't drained your sprinklers, maybe a good idea to drain your sprinklers before we get into this weekend. Looking at Monday, it's better. 40s return, and then a much better day on Tuesday. Highs back up to near 70. We'll keep the 60s going into Wednesday and Thursday as we get kind of an interesting weather pattern where we still get these occasional shots of cooler air, but they're little blips in the road. It's not like what we're going to see. We get this big Arctic or Canadian cold air push tomorrow and especially Sunday and a little bit into Monday here, the big drop in temperatures. We quickly climb back up, but then our blips are not as big here. So again, big drop, climbing up a little bit, and then here's the drop here, but it's not as big. Another little climb Friday, and then another little drop Saturday and Sunday next week. But again, these cooler shots are not as drastic later next week compared to what we're seeing tomorrow and especially on Sunday. Looking at North Platte here, we've got nice weather today. Windy tomorrow, no moisture. A lot of wind tomorrow. Chillier Sunday, some colder nights ahead, Saturday night and Sunday night. But already getting better on Monday, and then really nice on Tuesday. A little bit of a cool down Wednesday, Thursday. As you see it there, same thing with the North Platte area. The cool downs next week, not as dramatic as what's coming on Sunday. So it's just little cool downs coming in next week. And in fact, as we push through the middle of the month, basically, we're going to keep the milder conditions going. Average highs will be in the low and mid 50s, and we're going to be way above that all through next week. I'm starting to agree with it looks like the Climate Prediction Center is starting to agree with me a little bit more and thinking that we'll probably not see much moisture during that time frame. I think most of the moisture stays to our west and then travels to our north. We're going to keep the quiet weather going here. And in fact, as you look here, so here's our system tomorrow. Northeast areas and eastern areas, the best chance of rain. And then maybe a little rain and some snow mixing in for northeast Nebraska Saturday evening, but most of us will miss out. There's not much after that. We're pretty dry all the way through next week. Some moisture out west, but I think, let me back that up. But I think most of that moisture is going to go to our northeast, or to our north. So we probably won't get anything next weekend and early the following week. GFS is pretty similar. Let's take a look at Saturday real quick here. Saturday morning, light rain trying to mix with snow in northeast Nebraska, and then that next disturbance Saturday evening, light rain and snow mainly northeast of the Tri-Cities. It's close enough I included that 20% chance for Grand Island. After that, there's not much next week. Pretty quiet weather next week. Next weekend, again, GFS is even farther west with the moisture, and I think it's all going to go to our north. So I think we keep the nice weather going here. Again, we're nice today. We're going to get cooler on Saturday, and then here's the shot of Canadian air Sunday, and then even a little bit Monday, although western Nebraska Monday's getting better. And then we soar Tuesday. And then our blips are smaller blips of cool air. Wednesday, Thursday, we warm up on Friday. And we're another little blip of cooler air next weekend. But we keep the warm weather going. The GFS is now actually more aggressive with the warm weather next weekend. So again, there's our dip in temperatures Sunday and a little bit still Monday. Monday gets a little better out west. Much warmer on Tuesday. And then we cool back just a little bit Wednesday and Thursday, but then warming up on Friday. And right now the GFS keeps it pretty decent right into next weekend. Doesn't have the blip of cooler air next weekend like the European model does. So I think we're going to keep the nice weather going for a while here. I don't see any major issues. Of course, that's going to take us into the week of Thanksgiving already. Hard to believe, but it's a ways out yet. So we'll see how Thanksgiving plays out. But at least the week before Thanksgiving, this next week looks pretty good for the most part. So I think that's the week before Thanksgiving. It's not. I'm wrong. Ignore me. I don't know what it is at this point here, but I'll just tell you right now, I think our weather's looking pretty good for the middle of November the way it looks right now. So want to thank you all for watching. I'll get my calendar dates right one of these days. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all again on Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend and stay warm out there. Talk to you later. Bye.